It's the SWP Disciple. This is my backyard. Still got that bit left. So imagine all of this covered with almost 20 inches of snow. I think we've gotten about 17 inches so far. They're saying overnight like another 2. So by the time this storm system's all done, it'll be just about 20 inches. And on lunch, me and my 64-year-old mother were out here shoveling all of this. So it's funny, age is a hell of a thing. Of course, my aunt upstairs, she has kind of a bad back, so she can't do this. I told my mom not to come out here with me, but she did anyway. But yeah, we did. So I'm not gonna lie, this right here, this main area, this driveway, we're on a private way, so we have to actually get our own plowing because the city won't cover it. So we hired a truck to come and do that. But like all the other stuff, the front and the back and everything, that was me and my mom pretty much. Not pretty much, it was me and my mom. Happy for the help, though I don't want her getting, pulling something or hurting herself, but she doesn't listen to anybody, so all you can do is thoughts and prayers. But yeah, so I did that on my mom had started it, and then I came out on my lunch break, my lunch hour, and just put on a basketball podcast and went to work. As she's trying to talk to me the whole time, and I'm like, you can't slow me up. I gotta first of all, I only have an hour. Technically on the books it's not really a lunch hour, but like my team lead allows us to take an hour. And our snowblower, slideys, our snowblower broke like right before the season, and then me and my cousins, we pitch in for appliances like that, and like nobody did anything. So I had to do it the Armstrong way. But my younger cousin, I call him my younger cousin, but even though he's the same age as me, he's going to get some kids. He said they were supposed to come this evening, but it kind of ran a bit late. So they're coming tomorrow. We'll see how that works out, because it's going to be like 1 degree overnight. My thermometer says 20 degrees, but did it zoom there? Yeah, 20 degrees, but my weather app says like 15 degrees and falling, and we're gonna get down to about like -6 before Thursday, and then by Thursday, Friday, it's gonna turn back up. But yeah, man, age is a hell of a thing. So I was off at 6. I kind of dilly-dallied until about maybe like 6:40, and then took a 2-hour nap. That's the old podcast by Matt Farah, Watch and Listen, where he used to have a watch podcast, which was really cool, but he didn't keep up with it, because between that and Smoking Tire, you can see that was from like 5.5 years ago. He doesn't do it anymore, but I still sometimes listen to the oldies. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I shoveled like straight for like an hour plus straight or whatever, and man, by the end of work, I was tired, and like I said, I dilly-dallied for a bit and then passed out for like almost 2 hours after work. So I'm going to the gym now because everything was closed yesterday with the snowstorm, so I can't miss another day, even though that shoveling was a good workout. But I gotta get like some actual, my actual requisite 45 minutes of cardio and whatever else, playing with the weights. But when I was younger, I could do stuff like that and then just kind of plow through the rest of the night. No pun intended. That name again is Mr. Plow. But now I'm like, if I exert myself to any degree, I definitely feel it. And I don't necessarily need a nap. Like I could have gone straight through, but like, when you're tired, and if you don't keep moving, then you're just gonna you're gonna like fall out. And that's kind of how it was. But I feel good now, and I got my 5-hour energy, and of course I'll be up late tonight. It's such bad habits. Reason number 15. Make that reason number 1500 why I probably need a lady in my life. But yeah, I can't complain, right? So clearly, climate change is a thing. This is our first like real storm system. I mean, we've had like little storms here and there. For all I know, maybe this is it for the winter. So far this winter, though, the pattern's been like every few days, like an inch or two, and then like it basically like melts away within no time. and there hasn't been any real snow. And we've basically been like that for the most part for like 7 years. I feel like somewhere in there we had like a storm or two that was like 6 to 8 inches, but we haven't had a real winter in about 7 years. Hell, for all I know, maybe this is it for the winter, and we can call this like winter number 8, where it was just mild. They usually, you know, tally up the expected precipitation at the end of the season and then the actual. I think this season so far, though, we might be on the pace, mainly at the feet of this storm, because it's like 20 inches. And some parts of Massachusetts, like in the hill towns, got like 2 feet. Of course, like if you're in like Buffalo and like, you know, Akron, Ohio or something like that, you know, they're probably like, you know, hold my beer. But we really haven't had much in the way of winter in years. So, you know, if this is it, that's fine. But as you can see, this was quite the storm. You can judge by the snowbanks, and then usually after a snowstorm, it kind of warms up. But this is a true like cold snap, like Arctic blast. It's actually, temperature's gonna drop. So while I was shoveling, I have like not the best circulation, so my hands and feet get cold pretty quickly. But I was fine. You know, it was like 25 degrees or so, which, you know, is cold, but it's not, you know, once you're moving and stuff, that's not bad. But if I were like shoveling in this, you know, at 15 degrees, yeah, my thermometer's starting to adjust. It's like 19 degrees now. But it definitely feels colder than that. Like if you look at the app, it'll say like 15 degrees, but feels like 4 or something like that. But, you know, it's funny. I liken shoveling to, it's not my favorite activity in the world, but I liken it to, you know, back in the day watching like Star Trek, like Next Generation especially, right? So Next Generation was the one that was like really well written. Maybe Enterprise and Deep Space Nine are like in that same category, but I feel like the one that won all the awards and was like the best was Next Generation. And it's not like I would like set my alarm or, you know, my VCR recorder, as it were, back in the day. But like once you start watching it, you got to finish the episode because it's like actually good. Even though it's like aliens and, you know, Ferengis with butt heads and stuff like that, I was like, wow, this is like really good. And that's kind of how shoveling is once you're out there and you get going, especially if you have a good podcast going. I was listening to like Jason Timpf and him talking about the contenders this season. I think he has the Celtics at like number 7, which I feel is like a bit low. And I feel, or maybe I'm getting it mixed up, I feel like the Celtics and Lakers were pretty close, but they were like at the upper part of 10. I feel like they should be maybe a little bit better than that, but in any event, and as I say that, LeBron's on a heater right now. It's like early in the second quarter and he has like 20 points already in Chicago. But I don't know if that's like because Derrick Rose's number was just retired and like maybe Michael Jordan's around or whatever, so he's like, all right, so watch this. But yeah, anyway, yeah, the time just flew by and it was quite productive. I using proper form, my back feels fine. I was able to hammer through a lot. I don't know what the metric weight or whatever is of the snow removed, but we got through a lot. But yeah, so, you know, off to the gym and on with the night, as it were. And earlier today, I was like working on that pesky case that I have going on right now at the law office that I'm interning in. And man, the lady, she gets very high strung. She's Dominican, and it's cussing this MF whatever, because the other guy's really trying to screw her over. But I'm like, damn it, just the facts, please. I'm trying to like transcribe what you're giving me, and you know what should have been maybe like a 20-minute conversation was like 45 minutes. So I got that waiting for me when I get home. But you know, thank the Lord for small mercies, right? So the attorney that I work for, who's also a friend of mine, who's done some work for me going back like 20 years. So I've known him for a long time. He also knows the dean, you know, at my school. So he thinks he should be able to get me back in. Obviously, you know, people will say all kinds of things over. So, you know, we'll see what happens, because the board is, you know, the decision's up to more than one person or more than 2 people. And I got that. And then my boss, as it were, at the optical shop, she's writing a letter for me and stuff. But she's like old school, and she works, you know, it's like a labor of love, not even for the money, really. She works teaches as a microbiologist at the local community college. And that's the email that she uses, because, like, you know, when you send recommendation letters, especially as like an academic, it has to come from like your from the school's email, and she's locked out of it. So I gotta call her tomorrow to remind her, and then that's like a half-hour conversation with IT and blah 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 whatever. It's like no step is easy, but I'm thankful that I have people trying to like advocate for me. So, slowly but surely, working my way. We're already about to be in February, so I can't like sit on this. That time is April, May, June will be here before you know it. Like when admissions has their cutoff, and a lot of schools their preferred time for like the people that want to have like first preference. You have to submit your application by March. So I got to get all my ducks in a row because that time is coming up, and I have like a lot of things coming up. I got an important event coming up. I told you that I'll mention it when the time comes. The time is not yet, but that's coming up in a month. That has just been made official. I have a trip to St. Louis next month. I have a trip to Toronto in March. So before you know it, all these weekends are gonna be like gobbled up, and you gotta kind of get your priority stuff like knocked out. And my uncle's 75th birthday, his little birthday thing is going on. It was supposed to be this weekend, but he canceled it due to the weather. But I know that that's going to be at like some inopportune time, like just as I'm like probably somewhere or whatever. That reminds me, I probably should tell him so that way he doesn't, plan it on one of those days. But anyway, I just wanted to show you, I don't know, Winter Nightmare, not Winter Wonderland. It's actually not terrible to drive in right now, but of course the plows have kind of done their thing and they'll continue to scrape this. So we'll be pretty good by like towards the end of the week. What's going on here? Anyway, let me go grab my jollies before the corner store closes, and then hit the gym, get this last hour in. The Lord is faithful. Stay with me. God bless.